Get no readier than now.
Okay, you're live.
Oh, hey, it is Monday. How is everybody? It is Monday, June 8th, and we're doing well out here. We had a great day yesterday. Went up and took a drive in the hills, and if you guys don't know, well, I posted on Instagram, and I think it might have posted on Facebook too. About a half hour east of us, we have mountains up at 7,000 feet. So it's like the old Sierra Nevada where we kind of grew up. It's actually closer to us here than the Sierra Nevadas was to us when we lived in the valley in Central California. Anyway, got to see a deer like literally come right up a buck, a little fork of the horn, come right up to the car. And anyway, had a great steak dinner last night. Just had the leftovers a few minutes ago. So we're good. Everything is doing well. And I have got to say, I was just blown away at all of the wonderful compliments and comments on my anniversary post on Facebook. You guys were just I was amazed at hundreds of comments, and that's why I put that one comment on there. Thank you guys so much. It really means the world to us that there's so many people out there that kind of care about what we're doing and all that. So before I break into getting mushy, I'll move on with what you guys want to see, and which is getting into the content. So we've got some people chiming in, hopefully. Okay, so what I want to answer a question here. Let me take a drink. I want to answer a question from Leroy. Leroy asked, my question is, how would I fix a sign that has had the paint bleed in by overspraying? Can it be fixed, or would I have to start over from scratch? So for those of you that don't know what what Dad and I refer to as bleeding, it's kind of where the black or whatever spray you're using kind of soaks into the grain of the board. And I'm going to show you an example here in a minute. This is, and then I've had another question today about pine, he was carving pine, and did he need to put sanding sealer on it? I would always put sanding sealer on pine, whatever you're going to be. If you're going to be hitting that pine with any kind of a spray can, as far as layout or color down inside, I would definitely use sanding sealer, no doubt. This is pine, but it's got a cedar stain on it. And if I hadn't put sanding sealer and I oversprayed, you would see little streaks, and I'll show you what that looks like in a minute. But definitely use sanding sealer or something like sanding. I'm not saying it has to be sanding sealer, but it's got to be sealed up somehow to where that black or color spray cannot get into the grain of the board. So for Leroy, I suggest you go watch episode 57, that's video 57, and Coffee and Questions 7/27/16. It's hard to believe I've been making videos for so long. And then the recent one that I suggest a lot of people go to is Senior Moments, episode 18. That's the one where Dad and I really went all over the history of why we use the sprays that we use and talking about new stuff that we found. But as far as bleeding goes, so this is a piece of pine, and it's just a little scrap board that I do. I did these little apostrophes the other day. Turn them right side up. Did these apostrophes the other day, and I was just playing around with the background. And this didn't have any sanding sealer on it. I purposely sanded off the sanding sealer before I sprayed it with black. But what I used for my black was my primer. Am I messing you up?
Yeah, but that's right.
I'm sorry.
That's normal.
It's Monday.
No,
Just
he's
another
not
day.
Sick, Tessa. He's just doing a lot of talking.
Why do I sound
She said you
scratchy?
sound froggy.
I sound scratchy. I kind of feel like
You know what? With this wind blowing the way it is, I'm surprised we're both
Yeah. No, I feel great. I feel terrific, other than being old. But other than that, so anyway, I use the primer and I'll use ink, or I'll use, if you go watch episode 18, Senior Moments, episode 18, you'll see all the different kinds of spray that we use. Now, in contrast, if you want to see what bleeding looks like, that's what bleeding looks like. So what I used on here was, it's a pretty color, and it's not, it's a spray paint, but it's gloss. And when you use a spray paint that has a gloss, it's a gloss finish, this is what happens. So not only does it kind of soak in around the edges of where you're carving in, but then it also it gives what I call like a 5 o'clock shadow, how it has a blue haze. And the question that Leroy was asking is, how do you fix that? The only way I know to fix it is plane all of that off and start over, or cut it up and throw it in the dumpster, as I would say to Mike in Boston. There's just no way to, you can't sand enough. If you sand enough to get that bleeding out, then you're going to sand away your carving. At least that's been my experience. So that's truly what bleeding is when we talk about it. And if you use spray paint, a gloss spray paint, chances are this is going to happen. So definitely use, if you're going to use a spray paint, use a matte finish spray paint. And I still can't guarantee that it won't bleed if you overspray, but you're going to have a lot less likely chance. So this is kind of a flat, obviously it's a flat black primer. And if this was a flat blue, it probably would not have done that. So anyway, there's not many times that I've actually showed what bleeding looks like. Many of you know what bleeding looks like because you've experienced it. But it's once you've got that in there, there's no way to get it out that I know of. If you guys know of a way, I'm open. I'm listening. So that's really the question, the main thing that I wanted to answer tonight. And then I want to go over something else that we get people every once in a while that they go to our website and they can't seem to find certain things, like maybe the paper cutout patterns or certain things. But I discovered something about a month ago that I didn't even know. So I'm going to bring the laptop up here and see if we can actually show you here. So this is our page with our sign carving supplies. Yeah, that's it. So this is a sign carving supplies page, and if you go down to any of the pages, do I have it in the right spot? Okay, I just wanted to make sure. And you go to this right here where it says site map. It's really cool. I didn't even know it was there. But if you go to that site map and you're looking for any specific things, hopefully our internet will make a connection here. It's thinking. It actually brings up all of the stuff that we
Are you online?
Well, I hope so.
Oh,
there we go. So here's the site map. So we've got the beginner sign carving. I'm not going to read them all, but anything that you would be looking for as far as supplies on the website, it's all listed on the site map. And to me, that's the easiest way. Like right here, a lot of people said I can't find the paper cutouts. Well, it's right there. Paper cutout, sign carving tools, stock sign templates.
Tessa says, see if Vicky does a better job with the camera than Eric did on the computer thing.
On the computer thing.
When you tried to do, when I was doing the
Shut up, Tessa.
Oh,
Anyway.
State, Tessa?
Huh? Oh. Well, I thought you said steak. I just had a steak. Anyway, so this site map is really cool. You've got stuff over here, special offers. I think you can find, all kinds of different stuff. Shopping cart, checkout, search, information, 7 steps to sign carving, basics. We're still working on the website. We've got some exciting stuff coming up that hopefully we'll be announcing in the next week or so.
Dang this thing. All right. Gotcha.
Okay. Are you done with this?
Are you done with it?
I'm done with it. Okay. All right. So there is our site map. That's a great way to find stuff. Again, you guys can always reach out to us, send us an email, but if it's in the middle of the night and you don't want to call, then check out the site map. You'll probably be able to find what
a
you're
lot
looking
of
for.
people, Pam says some things I can't find on the mobile site. I do not even try to do anything on the mobile ordering, or Amazon I do, but that's easy. But a lot of people, because a lot of people order everything.
Right. With their mobile.
He is getting brave, huh, Dan? Yeah. You see, he's going to be 60 tomorrow.
Yeah, you had to say that. Thank you.
You're welcome. And he thinks he's just going to be able to outrun me forever.
Yeah, I'm an old man now, so with old age comes privileges.
Privileges. It comes with
That's what my
trouble.
dad. That's what my dad says.
Oh my gosh.
All right.
Hi, Gary Zellner.
Hey, Gary.
I caught up with you for a change. Let me tell you, there's a bunch of people on here.
Okay. Cool.
Let me. All right. Chris Miller, Gary Litchfield, Greg Anderson, Andy Littleton, Tessa, Mark Hallis, John Jernigan, Dan Yotis,
Hey,
Glenn
guys.
Showalter, Bob Bennett, Sandy Morris.
Sandy Morris. Hey, Sandy.
Gary Litchfield says, I'm great. Have a good evening. Happy anniversary.
Thank you.
Deanne Ginkle, Tom Toten. Is it Toten or Totten?
Ask Tom. I would say Toten.
Leonard Davis, Darren Hawkins, Pam Berry, Josh Robbins, Glenn Fournier, David Kearns, Danny Meadows, Dave Bushy.
Wow, we got a nice group.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in, guys. Hope you guys.
Corner. Who's that?
Loafer's Corner. I want to say that's Don Borden.
Is that Don?
I think. I might be wrong
I don't
on
think
that.
so, because he didn't give me any smack, so I don't.
Maybe not then.
Tim Forsyth. Josh Tolson. Oh, Josh says, hi guys, got my hat today. I love it. Thank you.
Excellent.
On the hat.
Excellent. Great to hear, Josh.
Okay, hold on, let me see. David Martin, Rick Worley, Justin Hellickson, Frank Jenkins is here, Al
Hey.
Ramirez,
Wow.
Randy Brown.
Well,
Frank
thanks.
got his order today, perfect condition, good.
Glad to hear that.
Gary Zellner, Lauren Higdon.
Lauren Higdon. Yeah, I know that name.
John says that yellow brings out the color in your eyes. Jack Jernings is from Scottsville, Virginia.
Oh my gosh.
Stephanie, Chris Wright, Dave Rossiter. They all say happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Let me know what you guys thought of our new project, the one I posted this morning. I'm kind of curious to get
Lauren Higdon is from Newfoundland, Canada.
Oh my gosh! Wow. Yeah, let me know what you guys thought of today's YouTube video, that piece of Gamble oak. You guys are going to see me struggle with that thing on Wednesday. I'm still working on it, but it's a challenge, that's for sure. All right, let's do some SCOTDs. Jeff. How do you say his last name? Jeff's last name? Eltiste. I think it's Eltiste. Yeah, Jeff over in Southern California.
That's what he always says. This is Jeff from Southern California.
Eltiste, I think, is how you pronounce it. Anyway, very nicely done, Jeff.
Gorgeous.
I really like the artwork. It's got nice balance to it. That, I'm going to talk more about that in the coming days. Is one of the biggest issues that I had when I started making signs was just layout, to get the layout right. Paul Heelman.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that cool? Again, nice balance. Nice little curly cues down there to balance everything out.
Pam Berry says she's liking it so far, looking forward to seeing how it turns out. Tessa said love, love, love it.
Excellent.
Frank says waiting to see the finished sign.
Might be a while. But I'm excited to do it. I haven't carved on it today, but I'm gonna get out there and do some carving on it tomorrow. Gary Zeller is here. Check this out. Gary did a really cool job. So he made this trophy for their family poker nights. So the winner wins the trophy and passes it on to the next winner every time they do a
That's cool.
trophy night. So you can see this part is carved. It's not really a sign per se, but it's definitely carved. Anyway, I just thought it was so cool. Great job, Gary. I just think that's just so inventive, being able to take your...
I'd like to have a poker night.
Yeah. But you don't know how to play poker.
Excuse me?
Mike Koon over in he's Henderson. Or Las Vegas, yeah. So this is his new business sign. Terrific job, Mike. Very nicely done.
I like that font. It's nice
Yeah.
like that.
Nicely done. Good job.
And
And
Yoda said, I like that sign. They can't see. Can't wait to see it finished. Definitely one of the better projects since we don't know what it's supposed to look like.
yeah, I have it in my mind what it's supposed to look like. I hope it comes out that way.
Bruce says a new sign for you. Looks like it's going to give you some challenges. Maybe some white hair.
Well, it won't turn white. It'll turn loose. Anyway, Tom Annan. So this one is really cool. This is a repurposed piece from an old cedar chest.
I like that.
Isn't that neat? Who's the guy on the motorcycle?
James Dean? No.
James Dean.
James Dean.
Very, very good.
See?
Yeah, you're old too.
I know. All the youngins are Googling right
Very
now. James
nice.
Dean.
Very nice. Good sign carvers of the day, you guys. So, any questions for me? Anything I can help you with? Don't forget that if you guys do go to Total Boat, don't forget that the 15% off code is Roten15. So it's our last name and 15. That's
I'm almost out of Total Boat. I had to order.
I think
some
we
more.
have some coming,
I know,
but
I
haven't.
ordered some more too.
I haven't heard. Yeah, I think we've got some more coming, but we've got some projects that we're definitely gonna
Yeah,
need
no
it.
kidding.
Yeah. So, anyway, guys, that is about it. Unless there's something else we need to go over and cover.
A lot of people said happy birthday.
Thank you, guys. If all goes well, I may be fishing on the lake in my kayak in the morning. If everything goes well tonight. But we'll see. Yeah, it was blowing. The reason we're not outside right now, well, now of course it's all calmed down. But all day long it's been blowing like crazy
Tessa
outside.
wants to know if there's a difference between epoxy and resin. I don't know honestly, Tess, I don't know if there's a technical difference. I just know I've always said resin and epoxy sounds funny coming out of my face.
I have a kind of a different perspective because growing up, there was a lot of times I used adhesive that they called epoxy because it was two-part. And it was anything. So I don't know about this. This is just my interpretation. But anything where you put two halves together and you have to mix it together and it creates heat, I consider that to be epoxy. So there, growing up, there was a lot of like liquid steel, like Devcon liquid steel was an epoxy. That two pieces, you put the hardener and the actual product together. And that was an epoxy, but I think it's really resin, but because it's two parts most of the time, it's two parts that come together in order to make it work. I think it's technically an epoxy, but an epoxy I think, again, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, this is just my interpretation. Epoxy can actually be a glue, an adhesive, and probably a lot of other kinds of coatings that wouldn't necessarily be considered resins, but would be considered epoxies. So, I don't know. That's my thinking
your story
on it.
And you're sticking to it?
That's unless
you're old,
somebody,
so we'll let you have it.
yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody will correct me. Somebody older will probably correct me. Although there ain't too many these days. We'll ask my dad. He'll have a whole different.
Yeah, I know. We don't have an hour for an explanation.
All right, guys, that's it. We're gonna get out of here and let you guys move on with your evening. I know some places it's a lot later than it is here.
Tessa, I think she said it's like 8:30 there now.
2 or 3 hours difference. Yeah. So thanks for tuning in, guys. We love you. Hope these things are helpful for you. I love the feedback, so definitely leave a comment. If you have any questions or anything that you need from me, Eric at makeawoodsign.com. I'm still answering emails. Most of you know, early in the mornings. That's my coffee and email time and quiet time.
Dan said, have a great birthday, my friend. Enjoy fishing.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. So everybody have a great night, and we will see you here tomorrow night. And you'll see a video in the morning, a replay from last week on YouTube. So thanks, guys. We love you. Have a great one.
Good night, guys.
Bye.